Alrighty, hello middle schoolers. As you are thinking about and preparing for your science fair projects, I figured it would be kind of helpful if you knew how to use Google Sheets. So today's video is a tutorial on how to set up a Google Sheets spreadsheet for your science fair projects. So I'm going to be using an example science fair project, and I'm going to be walking through the steps of how to create a data table and then insert a chart or graph. So follow with me. I'm starting out here in Google Drive. This is my drive, but yours will, you just go up here and you click drive.google.com and it should take you to a screen that looks something like this. And to get to a Google Sheets, you go to this new button and then click Google Sheets. And that'll open up a new tab. This is your old tab where you just were, and when you clicked on Google Sheets, it takes you to a new tab. You can easily go back and forth between the two. The very first thing I need you to do is give your spreadsheet a title, please. So you need to delete untitled spreadsheet and name it Science Fair 2017, and you can even put your name in there or your project if you already know what it is. That's the very first thing you must do in order to send it or share it or print it or whatever you want to do with it. You need to give it a name. So please do that first. For my imaginary science fair project, we are going to take a soybean plant and we are going to measure its growth using different fertilizers. So I have cell A1 here where I'm going to put soybean, and that's really easy. Cell number B1, I'm going to put fertilizer, and this is where I will list all of my fertilizers that I use in the project. Cell C1, I will put starting growth, or starting height, actually. And when you do starting and ending height, you want to measure it using the same measurement, so either centimeters or inches or millimeters or whatever. Make sure you're using the same. So then we'll also just calculate the growth. So to set this all up, what I need to do is list my fertilizers first. So we'll do an organic one. We will do a fertilizer called 10-10-10, and we will use a fertilizer called Miracle-Gro. Now, see with these numbers that I put in, it automatically puts numbers on the right side of the cell and words on the left side of the cell. I don't really like that, so what I'm going to do is, starting with soybean, I'm going to go down to Miracle-Gro and then just go over to growth because I want all of my letters and numbers that I'm putting in the center of the cell. So I just click on this horizontal line and click center, and that'll put it all in the center and make it nice and neat. Also, while I'm highlighted, I might as well add some borders here. So I, again, start with cell A1 and go to E4. This is E4 where I'm at. And then go to the borders button and click all borders. Now to separate these as titles, it would be neat if we could do bold so that when you're looking at this, you automatically know these are my headings and these are the subcategories or the sub items in underneath of each of the headings. So we'll just make up some data here right now. You're not allowed to do that, but I am for the sake of this little video. So we'll do 1.25, and these are all, I'll just do in inches, and we'll see what comes up here. All right, now these are all separated cells right now. Because all of this is pertaining to a soybean plant, what I can do is highlight from A1 to A4 and then go up to this button, which is right next to the borders button. It's called merge cells, and I can actually just click on this merge cell button, and it makes this A1 to A4 one big humongous cell. Now it puts the soybean way at the bottom, and I kind of want the soybean to be here in the middle. So what I need to do now is click this vertical align, so here's the merge cells, 2 buttons over, it's vertical align, and you can just put it to the middle, and that'll move that to the middle. Now the other thing I want to do is click on this A1 to A4 and do a fill color, because Miss Geyser wants to see nice, neat, beautiful looking graphs when you print these off. So what you could do is just kind of spruce it up a little bit and make it easier for your readers or your observers to look at your charts and see all of the different things that you've been working on. So you can change all of these colors to make it look a little bit separated and a little bit more organized that way. So now this growth button, you could say starting height is 1 and ending height is 2, so I know that it grew 1 inch. However, instead, just imagine if you had like a whole bunch of fertilizers that you were doing. You wouldn't want to do all of those calculations for all of them. So what I'm going to teach you really quick here is called a formula. Formulas in Excel and in Google Sheets always start with a equals sign. So you need to click the equals button and then type in the word sum and then open parentheses. And I want to take D2 and subtract it from C2. D2 minus C2. So I'm going to type in actual D2 minus C2 and then close my parentheses, and you'll see that D2 is highlighted in yellow and D2 over here is yellow. C1 is highlighted in purple and C2 is highlighted in purple and C2 is purple over here. Then once I click enter, it'll do the calculation and put that number in. I do not have to do that formula for all of my different fertilizers. All I have to do is come over to this cell, highlight it once by clicking on it, and this little blue box down here will show up. And when your mouse turns into a crosshairs, kind of like you're looking down the scope of a gun, you click and drag that down. And it will automatically calculate D minus C, D minus C, and give you the correct growth in inches. So that's how you set up your data table. Now each of your projects aren't going to look necessarily exactly like this. So what we can do is Mr. Root and Miss Geyser will be helping you kind of set up your data tables, and we'll be working with you to kind of make sure you know what you're doing to get started. But once you have your data table set up, it is super easy then to create a chart or a graph. All you must do is click A1 to E4, highlight your actual data, what's everything that's in there. You include the headings, include the titles, all of that needs to go in there. And then this button right here is called the Insert Chart button. And you can click the Insert Chart button and it will show a whole host of different recommendations, or you can search by chart types if you like line graphs or pie charts or scatter plots or other types of graphs and charts down there. You can check out those. You can even do your very own, which is really fancy. If you want to do that, you can. What I like to do, and especially what I would recommend for your first time using this, is just go with the recommended ones. So click through these. These are just like little previews of your data. So this is actually your data, what happens when we put your data into a chart format. So what we could do is, if we're looking for comparison of organic 10, 10, 10 and Miracle-Gro, we could say, okay, this is my starting height, this is the ending height, and this is how much growth we had. I kind of like that, but not really so much. Here is one where we could say, okay, all of the blue is organic, so these are my organic starting height, ending height, and growth in inches. 10, 10, 10, and Miracle-Gro, Miracle-Gro, Miracle-Gro. It's okay, it's alright. I'm not gonna like, I don't know. It just kind of depends on what you want to show in your chart. And you can do a bunch of different charts if you want to be super awesome and fancy like that. So here's one that I kind of like. Organic starting height, we see that that is about 1 inch right there. Here's about 2 inches, so it doubled. So here's the growth right there is just super easy to see there. Say I just wanted to do, okay, so let me just go ahead and insert this one because I kind of like this one. We'll click Insert, and we can move it around. Okay. Say I wanted to change, and I just wanted to show the type of fertilizer and the growth of that fertilizer, so the ending growth. All I need to do to show that is highlight fertilizer down to Miracle-Gro, and then hold the control button and go over to growth and highlight that down to the last fertilizer growth. And then go up here to Insert Chart, and it's just grabbing the data that I selected there. So you can even do this and do insert chart. These are all the different horizontal. This one's actually perfect for what I want. So I'm just going to do this, and I'll put it down here below my other chart. That way it'll print on hopefully one page. And I can even move this up a little bit and move this, and move this up a little bit too. All right. So now actually editing what's on the chart. Now this is kind of a strange title, don't you think? So I think I'm just going to click here, I'm going to backspace, and I'm going to type comparing fertilizers. And you could probably just type fertilizers. Just type your science fair project there. Miss Geyser also wants an X and a Y axis, so you can do an XY axis and a Y axis, and the way you get at X axis is quick edit mode. The way you get the horizontal axis is by right clicking on the chart and go to axis, horizontal axis title. And it already has a left vertical axis title there, but if it didn't, this is the same place that you go. So you're going to go to horizontal axis title, and it'll add horizontal axis title, and that's where you go in and you change. We can just put inches right there. And these aren't the fertilizers, right? These aren't. So that's not correctly labeled. So we need to do. We'll do height there. And we'll just name that. Now down here it also has chart title is just as the title, it's called chart title, and I don't like that at all, and Miss Geyser won't either, and your science fair judges won't either. So make sure you give it a title. So this is comparing growths of different fertilizers. Okay, so you can give it a long title if you need to. Again, make sure that all of your X and Y axis titles have proper titles there. This says left vertical axis title. Don't do that. Fertilizer. Okay, done. So it's really just as simple as that. You might be collecting a lot more data than what I just showed here, but essentially it's going to be doing the same thing. You could even move your charts out of the way, and you could say you wanted to do I want to do this again. So I just highlight it and then do Control C for copy, Control V for paste, change my plant to, let's say, a watermelon plant. Okay, and just delete all of those titles out of there, and you're good to go to set up your new charts there. It's easy to do this, and it's easy to change. If you have any questions at all, please come talk to Miss Geyser or myself, and we'll be happy to help you. Now, I did want to show you how to print, so I'm going to Control Z and undo all of that. To print, it's super easy. You just do Control P, and you always want to do fit to width, and if you want it to be landscape, that's fine. I think it'll be good on portrait though, so I'm going to try it and see what it looks like here. And it should give us a preview. Yeah. So all of it fits on one page. I click print and we're good to go. So again, if you have any questions, let me or Miss Geyser know, and we'll be happy to help you. I hope this helps, and good luck with all of your upcoming science fair projects.